I was thinking about saving this for the next one, but darn it, let chaos reign! Even though we had already destroyed chaos, let's bring it back! Zelda 2 Randomizer, let's go!
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So I made this file about a couple days ago, knowing that I was going to be needing it soon, and I have not touched this. So I don't even remember what all I had randomized for this. So this should be an interesting one, especially since the overworld has been changed as well.
Oh boy.
And you know what? While I'm thinking about it, I should get in the habit of changing my Twitch title before more often if I'm going to be doing this. There we go. And one of the things that can be randomized is the tunic color. Decided to do that. Okay. And the entrance to Death Mountain is right there. Okay, good to know. So things that can be randomized: enemy locations, attack strength, experience that is required to level up, which I just did. Wow, that was fast. Experience that enemies can give you. Which spells are where. Which items are where. And actually, even dungeon palace layouts can be altered as well. And
jeez.
And I think I lucked out in finding Rauru first, because this is the one place where I don't have to do anything special to actually get this. And of course, the first spell I get is Fairy. Lovely.
Oh, I didn't know the spells were randomized too yet.
Yeah, and another thing that was randomized is how much the spells cost. And you know, I won't be able to use that spell for a while.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen another town. Might as well... There's 2 more towns. Oh, Saria. And the hoops that I have to jump through to get this spell is actually self-contained. So that's good. Just go here and get the mirror. And hopefully this spell... Actually, no, I want to say each block of magic, I think, is worth 16, isn't it?
I think that's what it is.
So, yeah, 16, 32... Yeah, I have 64 magic points right now. So, yeah, I can't even use Fairy at the moment. And the next spell on the list is Reflect. Which is good that I have that, though I still don't have enough magic to use it. Although, once I level up my magic, they won't cost as much, so that's always good.
Now, the amount of experience you can get from enemies, that gets randomized too, right?
Yes, and I already know I can't get the spell from here yet. Yeah, because you know those jumping enemies we saw early on.
Yeah, I saw that.
Thing is, normally they only give like 5 XP. Here they were giving me 20.
Yeah.
So that is very good, because that allowed me to get life 2 real quick. Although my first priority should probably be getting attack 2, but eh.
I actually had to refresh the stream to update the title on my end.
Well, you didn't really have to.
It was you were playing this, but the title on my end still said Final Fantasy. I don't know. That kind of worked. That works kind of weird.
Oh jeez, get. Okay.
What were you gonna say?
Well, the thing is that putting the title in is really only for the benefit of anyone who's kind of searching around for things. There's people that aren't already here.
Freaking! You got bubbles. You got bubbles in a forest.
Yep. They count as enemies.
Jeez.
So what kind of... I really don't like going searching through caves without the... Without the candle. Well, we got a palace right here.
Also makes me wonder how. I had something on my mind, but I forgot what it was gonna be.
Alright, so... Oh boy. I don't expect to get through this without getting a game over at least once.
Yeah, it won't surprise me.
Especially since I just got killed.
Oh, now I know what I was gonna... the whole magic containers and power containers, I imagine they're all randomized too.
Yes, they are. Which means I could end up finding them in the palaces. And I really should not be fighting Red Iron Knuckle right now with attack 1. This is...
You know the trick though, to jump and hit them.
I am aware. I just don't like doing that because, yeah, I just did it and I got hit.
I'm actually able to do that reliably myself and not get hit by those Iron Knuckles.
I am not. I'm going to not level up my magic. I need to get out. I am not ready for this yet. Especially since I don't have healing magic yet. There we go.
Attack 2 now?
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, getting that buffed up is... At least getting it to level 2, I feel better about things now. And the thing is, the items that are normally found in the palaces can be found elsewhere now. And,
oh boy.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's crazy to think those Octoroks are giving out 30 XP.
Well, just those jumping ones giving me 20 was surprising enough, and... Well, there's the first major item, the boots. That is a good find, really.
Well, that ain't bad.
Ooh. Treasure bag. Always a good find. Although the boots don't really matter much now, but when I get to the second continent, they'll definitely matter. And I recognize this one. This one will spit me out here, though I don't know where here is.
Also, another thing too is you gotta hopefully find the up strike and the down strike.
those haven't been randomized.
You just gotta find the town where they're at.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really like being in there, so... And bear in mind, my attack strength has been randomized, as well as enemy hit points. So, who knows how much... Oh! Thank you, Boots! Giving me a bit of a safe haven here.
So you could potentially kill those bird knights in the final palace in one hit, right?
Depending on the combination of things, potentially. I'm not counting on it, though. Well, I can use Reflect now, not that it really matters at the moment.
If there's one thing, there's one enemy I do hate in this game, it's those dang bird knights in the final palace. Those things are just annoying.
Yeah. And so we got... the various forest areas that surround Bagu's place that doesn't really help me in any way, shape, or form.
Stud Kid makes a good point. Imagine if you got lucky with the bots and bits, giving crazy amounts of XP, level grinding wouldn't be much of a problem.
I think there's a limit to that, and... well, there's gonna be an item here, but without... well... I still don't have enough magic juice, Fairy. Thinking even if I did, I don't think I could actually pick up an item with, well, in fairy form, can't I? I've never been in a position to need to do that. Well, at least I'm close to... the fact that I'm getting so many level ups so quickly is a nice thing, and that is a 1-up. I am not grabbing that, because I know I can only get them once.
Yeah, that's another thing about that, is like... there's like, what, only, I think, 3-4 1-ups in the entire overworld in the original, and...
Yep. And, oh, right! There was one other thing that I randomized. The potential of palaces to swap continents. So I think that one that I just found is actually the Maze Palace. If only because I think that's the only one that has a Moa right at the start.
Yeah, the Maze Palace has what now? A multiple starting?
Has a Moa. That thing flying across.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only one.
Oh,
that's the only one of those. That's the only dungeon where it has one of those right in the opening entryway. So
that's actually kind of interesting that you... interesting because now that I just noticed that your next level up is at 390.
Yep, it randomized that. It randomized that too.
Before in the original.
I think in the original everything was at least multiples of 50.
Multiples of 50?
Yeah, like 50, 100, 150, that sort of thing. So, can I actually pick this up as the fairy? Yes, I can, and that actually wasn't randomized. That's the same item that was normally there, which means when I get back to Ruto, I can get the spell that's there. Although I should probably... It seems I should have more urgent priorities. Like...
maybe getting healed?
Yeah, like not dying. Well, there's a town. Not sure which town it is, but it's any port in a storm. Oh, of course, it's the other half of Saria. And I don't have Bagu's letter yet, so which means I can't get across. Darn it! And I already used up all my magic for... Well, if I can grind my magic back up, I can use fairy to get across. I can do that. And I found there's another palace.
I imagine trying to find Bagu would be a pain as well.
Well, he'll be in a forest somewhere. As you've no doubt seen, the special tiles tend to stand out. Like the forest that's off by itself. Alright, so, well, here's the place that has the downstab. That is definitely nice. Don't have the item for this.
That. What?
What were you saying?
No, I was like saying you better. I was hoping you can get that.
Well, can I get into the door with fairy? No, I can't. So I have to actually get in there legit. And I don't have the jump spell yet, so I can't do that.
Gotta find jump.
Yeah, we all have our little quirks and things we do in playing these games. It seems mine seems to be either jumping over the doors or aiming my sword beam right in that little black bar right below the roof. So I have to cast fairy in midair for that to work? That is worth trying.
Because
I did not know. Well, I've never had to go into a door in fairy form before, so I'm not aware of some of these fancy little tricks.
Speaking of another RPG,
No, it's still not working. Oh, I can't cast it in midair. Was I not on the ground when I tried it the first time? I forget now. Oh
well. Have you ever considered a Mario RPG at some point?
It is on my list. Ah, that did work. Okay, good.
Woo! Down stab!
Woo! Down stab. You'll stab your eye out. More like I'll be stabbing other things' eyes out. And that's another thing you can do in the randomizer. You can have these comments be default or just whatever apparently the people that made this came up with.
I find that funny. You'll stab your eye out. I don't know how you would do that with a down stab.
We've already, I think they were called emus? Those little tiny things across the ground. You pretty much need the down stab to even do anything to those. Like this thing! And I only get 2 XP for it, naturally. We've got a couple other random things, like random treasure. Treasure bag, not bad. Another random treasure. And an enemy that dropped one right beside it. That's nice.
Now, I find it actually kind of interesting that, in the original, those, what are they called again? The things on the ground?
I want to say they're called emus. EMU, I think. But I'm not 100% sure I remember that right.
Well, the one thing I find interesting is how in the original that they only gave you so much experience, like the ones in the overworld, but the ones in the temples gave you like 5, and I believe the ones in the overworld gave you like 2 or 3.
Well, the thing is, the ones in the temples are usually a bit tougher too.
Yeah.
Ah, dang it.
Caves that I'm thinking of that do that.
I really shouldn't be pushing my luck with those things. Well, we got a couple more forests, and this one's just a random thing. And what do we got here? Another random thing. Forest number 3. There's Bagu's place. Alright. I am Bagu, husband of Baguette. Ha ha ha. Oh, jeez. And it's clear that some of these combinations weren't meant to coexist. Because, hello, slow down.
You found Bagu. See, you did find Bagu.
Yeah.
Oh god, slow down.
Yep, like I said, there's the raft spots. That's good to know. Go ahead and heal up, and since this palace that's close by, this is either the Desert Palace, the Parappa Palace, or the Palace on the Sea, because those are the only ones that don't have an inactive statue out front. And I'm not sure which one this is. Yeah, it's starting to look more like the Palace on the Sea.
Oh, jeez.
Because I'm seeing... Yeah, I need the power glove for this. So, yeah, I'm not geared up for this place yet. And Bagus that give 10 XP, that's not bad.
Considering they steal XP from you.
That's been randomized too.
Oh, jeez.
I believe the blue bats are steal XP now, and I think the amount of experience they steal has also been randomized.
Oh, God.
I haven't really paid attention to it. Come on, thank you. And I think my good luck with how much XP I'm getting is how many levels I've gotten so quickly is starting to catch up with me, but it'll be a little while before I get the next one.
Well, if you have enough regular encounters, you will get to that
well,
level up eventually.
Yeah. And it looks like it was like 8 or 9 XP that got taken from me there by that bat. Wasn't there, there was a town over here, wasn't there? Yeah, because this was the other... This was where the other half of Saria was, right? Yes. Okay. Oh, I see what that is. That's a sliding puzzle. Ha ha ha.